Hey, this is Brian Hagan, the creator of Purposeful Foam Rolling, our online course for foam rolling and self-care. This is where we teach you how to use a foam roller and other self-care tools to work out the tightness in your muscles, the trigger points, all the bad things that you have in your muscles. We do it safely, effectively, and efficiently. This way you can get out and do the things that you love to do with less pain and less discomfort. If you'd like to take a look at our course, the link will be on the comments below. Just follow that link. There's a whole outline of the course. We have clips. You can take a look at all of that right there. All right, so this video, we're going to be talking about a muscle that can cause pain in between the shoulder blades and on top of the shoulder blades. All right, and these are the rhomboids. So let's take a look at where the rhomboids are located. We've got Mr. Manny here, and basically it's on the top of your shoulders and your back. You'll see it drawn here. Rhomboid minor is the smaller portion of the muscle. It's right on top here. You can see a kind of a break in the line here. That's rhomboid minor, and then rhomboid major is on the bottom. Rhomboid minor is actually coming off of I guess both muscles start at the attachment side of your spine, right in the center, and these are called your spinous processes, right in the center of your spine. And then they drop down here and they attach to the top part of your shoulder blade or the inside top and then the inside bottom of the shoulder blade. So that's your rhomboids right there. All right, now how do we find this on ourselves? Well, if you have good flexibility in your shoulders, you're going to be able to reach back here and touch your rhomboid. If you don't, that's a good indication you really should take a look at our online course, all right? Because we're going to teach you how to get this all nice and loosened up in here so that you can actually reach back here and touch the back of your shoulder blades. All right, so take your hand, reach back here and touch your shoulder blade. You should find the edge of your shoulder blade. I'm touching my left one right now. Then walk your hand over and touch your spine. All right. So between your spine and that shoulder blade is where the rhomboids are at. And to know if you're on the exact spot, you're going to take your shoulder and you're going to pinch them, and then you're going to round them. Pinch them and then round them. You'll feel that muscle move in there. That's the rhomboids, or at least part of the rhomboids you're touching, all right? That's a good way to feel it. You can also have somebody else come back or put your hands on somebody else's back, ask permission, and then have them round their shoulders and tight, and you'll feel those muscles contract and elongate, and that's your rhomboid muscles. All right, what do these muscles do? Well, one of the things they do is pinch your shoulder blades. So when I pinch my shoulder blades, or I bring Mr. Manny's shoulder blades together in the back, that's your rhomboids, all right? They also help to elevate the shoulder blades. So they help with other muscles to pull your shoulders upward, okay? They also help rotate the shoulder blade. So the bottom portion of your shoulder blade here is going to rotate that direction. And what that does is it lowers your shoulders down. So when we elevate our shoulders, when it does this, we're shrugging our shoulders. Rhomboids are helping other muscles do that. And if we drop our shoulder blade down, rhomboids are helping to assist to do that. It's causing that rotation just like that. All right? So that's the function of these muscles. Now, what happens when these muscles get angry? All right? Well, when muscles get angry, and they get angry for a lot of reasons, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, but they can develop what are called hyper-irritated points, which are called trigger points. And all muscles have them, and when they develop, those trigger points can create a pain pattern that basically is different for every muscle. So I'm going to show you the pain pattern for the rhomboid muscles here. But rhomboid minor, the one on top, can develop a trigger point, one trigger point on each side. Okay. Rhomboid major can also have two trigger points that can develop on each side. And when these trigger points develop, they can create pain basically right in this area, right here. Pretty much localized where the trigger points are at. And that's where you mainly feel it. But you can also get pain right up here on the top of your shoulder blade, right here. Okay, and again, this would be on both sides, right like that. Okay, so again, either on either side of you can have it on one side or you can have it on both sides, or on the top, one side or both sides. All right, so that's typically where the pain develops when we have trigger points in these muscles. But we don't necessarily have to have trigger points. When a muscle is tight over an extended period of time, it can have an impact on the joints of our body, and it can create a whole slew of other things because it's working. They're not just tight by themselves. They're usually tight with other groups of muscles, and that just creates a whole cascade of things that can go wrong, right? So again, we're just isolating here one muscle, but they usually work together, okay? So when the rhomboids are tight and the other muscles are tight, we tend to have this, our shoulders up in our ears, and we tend to be more rounded in our shoulder. Because pec major tends to be tight, and all these muscles tend to just kind of do this. And this is part of that. It's forcing the shoulder blade upward, but you also have the other job that this muscle does, which is it's trying to rotate it, and it's also trying to pinch it. So it wants to do this, but it's being overpowered, and it's helping do this. So what happens is it creates a lot of stress in this area. It creates a lot of stress on the shoulder joint itself and on the spinal cord, specifically here, right between your shoulder blades. All right, so we don't want stress on the spinal cord, and we don't want our shoulder blade out of position, because that adds wear and tear on both of those components, the spine and the shoulder blade. Right. So again, we can have a lot of pain with tight muscles, but we can also have force the body out of position, causing long-term wear and tear. Okay, so again, not a good idea. So what causes this? Again, bad posture, rounded shoulders, sitting all the time, forward leaning, looking on tablets. Our daily stress is another big cause of this, and we're all tensed up and tight. Gets the rhomboids all active and firing and creating pain, and also long-term problems, right? Okay, so what can we do about it? Well, there's a lot of good stuff that we can. That's the wonderful thing about muscles. Muscles can cause a lot of pain, but typically we can do good stuff with muscles to get them to loosen up and relax. So that's a good thing, right? We don't have to necessarily go to a physical therapist unless it's so bad that we just can't get it under control, right? So here, let's give you a couple really good self-care tools here. But I do want you to read the disclaimer before you do this, because again, with any exercise program, you should consult with your doctor, your physical therapist, before you're doing this or any other exercise. So always start off by taking a nice, warm, moist heat pad and warm this area up. Dry heat is not good because it tends to dry the muscles out, like electric blankets. But a moist heat towel, either with not necessarily boiling water, but hot water poured on it, or microwaved or something like that. Put that down. But I always tell people, if you got a really hot moist towel and you take a warm towel and put it underneath it, a warm moist towel, and then you can actually put a drier towel underneath there. We have a video on how to make a moist heat pad in this YouTube channel, so take a look at that. Works wonderful, believe me. But get this nice and moist and heated and warmed up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 tennis balls and put them in a sock, and we're going to be working these muscles with this tennis ball. Now, this area tends to be very, very tender on a lot of people, so do it on the wall, right? You just go against the wall, put the tennis balls up there, and you just do wall squats and work up and down. It'll work this area really nicely. If this is no longer getting deep enough, or you just feel like it's not, really didn't do much, you can do this on the floor. What you do is you lay down, bend your knees, make sure your head is against the floor. You want your head on the floor, put the tennis balls down here, and then roll back and forth, okay? And again, the nice thing about this is that the tennis balls together in a sock, this way your spine is right dead center between those 2 tennis balls. You don't have to worry about rolling over the spinal cord, okay? But that's a great way to get those to be loosened up. Now, once we're good and done with the foam rolling, or the tennis balls, working on that, you want to stretch these muscles a little bit. Now, most of us, we have rounded shoulders, so this is kind of not necessarily a stretch, but it's going to feel really good, is to take your shoulders and pinch them together backwards. All right? And you're not doing this like Hercules. You're just doing a nice pinch backwards. Breathe. Exhale. When you exhale, you relax. You can do that to the count of 8, and then relax your shoulders, and then pinch them again. Breathe. So breathe in, pinch, and relax. Hold to the count of 8. Make sure you breathe while you're doing this, and you can do that 2 to 3 times. After you've done that one, take your arms behind your back. Again, you're going to pinch your shoulder blades, but this time you're going to pull them downward. All right? And again, you're going to hold this. You're going to breathe in, pull down, exhale, hold to the count of 8, and relax. All right? And again, this stretching shouldn't hurt. So if you're doing something that hurts, or if you stretch and it does hurt, that's a good indication you need to have a physical therapist look at it. Right? Anytime you stretch a muscle and it really hurts, something's going on. If the stretch feels good because you're doing it gently and you're stretching it to relax, that's a benefit. Okay? All right. So again, we cover the whole entire body with foam rolling and self-care tools. We teach you how to do it from basic, intermediate, and advanced, so we can get deeper and deeper and deeper, because muscles have tightness throughout the whole depth of it. So we teach you how to do that. All right. So check out our online course on our link in the comments. And that was the rhomboids, major and minor. All right. Have a great day. Take care.